Good morning and happy Tuesday. Hope you are having a wonderful start to your day. I know here in Southern Maryland it's a little rainy, but we need that rain to make the grass green and the trees to grow and the flowers to grow. So as long as it happens during the week, that makes it nice so that we can have a great weekend. So hi, I'm Connie Fuchsa and I own Foote Title Group. We are talking today about what role does a title company play in the process of buying a home, and why does it matter if you make that choice or if you let someone else make that choice for you? So at Foote Title Group, we are passionate about making sure you understand what's going on in the process, that you're kept in the loop every step of the way, and that you feel the comfort and security when you walk away from buying that home and you get your keys, to know that no one can come in and take that away from you. So a lot of people say to me, well, I don't even know what a title company is, or I don't know what they do, or I have a lot of people that know me that say, hey, Kimberly, how are you? Thanks so much for tuning in. I have a lot of people who say to me, I don't even know what you do, and I don't know how I can help you. So I wanted to talk to you just a little bit today about what role a title company plays in the big picture of buying a house. So that's what we do, and I hope you're having a great day. So a title company is the one that once you actually find that perfect home, you are working with probably a fantastic realtor that knows all about your area and takes you around to look at all different types of properties that might meet different needs that you have. Then you're going to find that perfect home and you're going to make that offer to that seller. Morning, Carrie. How are you? Thanks for tuning in. So you're going to make an offer to the seller that owns that home about what you're willing to pay for that home and what cost you're willing to do for that. So once you guys agree on that home that you want to purchase, you'll finalize that contract and you'll have what's called a ratified contract. And then you probably have already started thinking about talking to a lender who is going to loan you some money to buy that home. Or if you're in a financial situation where you can actually use your own cash to purchase the home, then that's great too. Then you don't need to look for a lender, and some of the rules and things will be a little bit different. But in most cases, most of us need someone to loan us a good portion of the money to try to help us pay for that home. So you're going to search out and find that perfect lender that has the right loan for you, that matches the terms and the things that you need in order to purchase that home. Then the title company comes in, because what happens is everybody wants to know. I mean, you can see that home, you have a home inspection done, you have several other types of inspections done. Good morning, Michael. Thanks for tuning in today. So through that process, you're going to have all different types of things inspected or checked on about that home. And the title company, on our job, is to make sure that everything's pulled together so that that process goes smoothly and so that you can actually take ownership of that home. So what happens is everything is then passed on to us. Once you write that contract, you get the lender and you have that preliminary approval, then your real estate agent will actually give us a copy of your contract so we can start doing some research on that home to make sure that everything's in order for you. So when you purchase it, everything is clear, that it is everything that you thought it would be from the title aspect. Good morning, Pam. Thanks for tuning in. So on the title side, what we do is there's several different pieces. So we're the person that makes sure that everything is pulled together for you. So when you come to the closing table, everything's smooth and all the pieces are in place. And I'll tell you about that in just a minute. But first and foremost, we actually do some work on the title, which is the chain of ownership, where that property's been, who's owned it, what's happened, all from the original owner. We go back 60 years, so a lot of times the original owner is a lot farther back than that. But the standard in the industry is to go back 60 years to make sure that there isn't any concerns in that chain that could cause someone to make a claim against your ownership while you own that property. And that's going to be really important, because you don't want to be sitting in your house on a snowy Saturday night drinking hot chocolate with the fire going and someone to knock on your door and say, hey, I own this property and I'm taking some legal action to get it back. So that's kind of a scary thought, and most people don't know that can even happen. And that's one thing that a title company's job is, to make sure that even if there's a potential for that to happen, that you have insurance that covers you for that type of thing. So what we do first and foremost is we get a copy of that real estate contract, and we actually have an abstractor that we work with. That's a person that works in the land records in the local courthouse where the property is located, and they actually search that property and then give us a report so we can actually do some investigation and make sure the taxes have been paid, there's no outstanding liens, that any loans that the seller told us they had are in fact what is recorded against that property. Because sometimes what happens is the seller may forget that they took out a home equity loan to buy a car because they don't realize, or they may have forgotten, that it's recorded and secured against that home. So we have to make sure that anything that's recorded or secured against that home is resolved, so you don't have an ownership interest problem once you get those keys. So it may be that the seller had a vehicle accident several years ago and was sued, and someone placed a judgment against them that is recorded against that title. Maybe it doesn't affect maybe it isn't something that's owed back to that seller, but back to that judgment creditor. Maybe it's been resolved, but it was just never released from that title. So we would do that research, then we do the investigation and make sure what's really going on with these things that may show up in this title, and then we clear those up. Now, I'm going to warn you that not all title companies go to these lengths. Yes, that's their job. It's like going to a repair shop and someone tells you that you have a problem with your carburetor, but they don't do the other things that need to be done that may be causing that problem so it would happen again. So say, for example, maybe they don't change the oil filter or the air filter, some other things that may affect that. I'm not a car aficionado, but just trying to give you a simple example. Some title companies don't go that extra length to make sure that when you they find title issues, to actually go clear up things even though they aren't necessarily things that are owed still against the property. And why does that matter? Well, on the simple end, when you go to sell that property, somebody's going to require that that be taken care of. And so now you're going to have a headache that should have been taken care of when you purchased the property. Or maybe, in fact, there is a loan there that should have been released, wasn't, and turns out that maybe there is an ownership interest that needs to be resolved, that wasn't resolved, that the title company thought, well, it's already been taken care of, so it won't come up as a problem for them. This is where title insurance comes in, and at the settlement table, we would discuss title insurance with you, because title insurance is the one type of insurance that you can purchase that insures you today and back behind when you purchase the home, back any length, to make sure that no one anywhere behind you could come back and make a claim against your ownership. So it's the only insurance that covers you for things that happened in the past and not things that are happening in the future. Now, the claim may come up and happen in the future, but the claim would be about something that a previous owner had an ownership interest. Excuse me for a second, I've been fighting a cold. Thank you. So title insurance covers you for things that happened in the past. So it may be an ownership interest that was in the past that was never taken care of, even though someone may make a claim to you now that that ownership interest wasn't resolved. So it's the only type of insurance that covers you for things that happened in the past. And it also is a one-time fee. There's no deductible, there's no additional cost. So when you pay your cost at closing, which is a small percentage based on the ownership sales price, it's a very nominal cost that covers you for as long as you own the property, or any of your heirs, or your estate, or anyone else that may take ownership with you, as long as you, the original owner, continues to own it. Kimberly says, someone shopping, settlement companies, what are the questions they should ask or know choosing the right company? Well, so there are several things. A lot of people go on price, and thanks for the question, Kimberly. I appreciate it. Excuse me. Again, price is like anything else. You get what you paid for. We have been a very competitive cost for as long as we've been in business. We try to keep our costs low, but price is not the deciding factor. You need to look at the longevity of a title company. Title companies that have survived this real estate economy crash are ones that prepared for the ups and downs in the real estate market, because it happens. We've been in business for 30 years this year, and we have a great track record. The other thing that you should look for is ask them about their claims history, because when we're sitting here talking about title insurance and someone knocking on your door in the winter, it goes back to someone making a claim, and that claim is because someone didn't clear up something in that chain of title before you took ownership. So the one thing I can say about Foote Title Group is we have only had 5 claims in 30 years. Now, that's a little scary to say, because you hope that doesn't cause something to happen. But good morning, Janaea. Good to see you, sweetie. But we've only had 5 claims in 30 years. So that says a lot about the fact that we are diligent about making sure that everything that we can possibly take care of is taken care of before you get those keys. And that's one of the things we do behind the scenes in the process that most people don't understand. And just to make sure that that's taken care of for you, the title insurance is something that you definitely need to purchase at closing. So there's 2 types of title insurance. Please excuse me. I am just, as I said, trying to get over this cold. You will be required, if you get a loan, to get lender's title insurance. Lender's title insurance ensures the lender that no one can ever cause a problem or take away that security interest, your home, from them, because that's what they are banking on to repay the loan. And the other type of insurance is owner's title insurance, and that's an optional coverage that covers you for as long as you own the property. It's optional. You have the right to make that choice. I recommend that you never make the choice not to choose that. And why is that? Well, because if you have a problem after closing, that title insurance is going to step in. Not only, as I said, there's no deductible for the insurance after closing. It's a one-time cost, and there's attorneys at the insurance company that actually handle things for you. So if someone came and said, hey, there's a right-of-way on your property that I need to be able to get on and off that property to go do something, and you say, well, I didn't know anything about that. Or they have an ownership interest and say, hey, my mom and dad, when my dad went to sell the property, my mom and dad were divorced. My mom didn't even know my dad sold the property. She passed away. Hey, I still have an interest. I'm her child, and I didn't sign off on that. So that person technically has an interest. So what happens is you actually have to go through a little bit of a legal process to determine, is that person going to require payment, or do they want the house? And what's your situation? Are you going to be kicked out of the house? Is the insurance going to reimburse you for any equity you have in that home? Or are they going to reimburse you for any expenses, legal expenses? So the title insurance company actually has attorneys that come in and defend your interest for you. So when that claim happens, you contact us or the title insurance company that your policy is written on, that you would get at closing, and you actually contact them, and they have attorneys that start working on that. So it's really, really important to choose wisely. A lot of people don't know that they have the right to choose their title company, and it's because they rely on their realtor or their lender or referrals from other people, which are all great sources. But do a little bit of due diligence. Ask the questions. Call the title company. Ask them some things. How long have they been in business? What's their track record? What kind of situations do they deal with? What things matter to you? Because the title really excuse me, is the last piece in the puzzle, but such a crucial piece. You know, you've picked the perfect house. You're dealing with an amazing realtor. You've found a lender that you trust and respect. They have a perfect loan for you, so you will be able to make those payments and feel confident about that. But do you have the protection you need on that perfect home that you've worked so hard for and saved for to purchase? Do you have the protection that you need to make sure that no one can ever take that home away from you? Good morning, Andre. Thanks for tuning in. And that's what the right title company does, and you need to make the right choice. By law, you have the right to choose your title company. The only time that doesn't happen is if someone else is paying the title company's costs for you. And if the seller's paying all of your closing, then that falls into play. But a lot of times you'll have a builder or a seller say to you, well, this is the title company I use, and I'm not going to give you this incentive or that incentive if you don't use them. And they don't have the right to do that unless they're paying all of the costs for you. And you need to make sure, just because there's title companies out there, I mean, the competition is all over the place for us, which is fine, because there's title companies like there are in any type of business that are good, bad, or indifferent. You need to look at their track record, find out what their story is. We've been in business for 30 years. Our Maryland office has been open for 30 years, our Virginia office for 10. We have a great track record in both of those areas. Our passion is about making sure you understand your situation. We pull all the pieces together for you. So when we get that contract, we do the title search, then we actually coordinate with everybody. We send out text blasts. So you, as the, we call our customers MVPs, the most important part of closing. But we pull all the pieces together. We send out text blasts to let you know what's going on as things happen, because the confusing part about closing is I don't even know what's happening once I've signed all my loan papers and getting my loans getting approved. Now what's happening? Well, this is all the stuff we're doing behind the scenes. We're coordinating all the people, all the certifications, we get all the documents together, we do all the research and investigation and repair on the title if necessary, and then we coordinate so everybody comes together at one time and it sits down and goes through all of the documents, and we explain all of that to you. Excuse me, all the loan documents that you need to sign, we explain all those. All the documents that will move the title into your name, we explain those to you. We also send out before closing a sample packet of documents to make sure that you have the opportunity to look through some basic things. They're not, maybe not exactly the documents you're going to sign, but probably pretty close to a lot of what you're going to be looking for. So we send those out in advance, because our passion, as I told you in the beginning, is to keep you in the loop and to make sure you understand what's going on. And so we try to get you as much as we can before closing, and then we coordinate everybody to come to the closing table, sign all the documents, understand what's going on, talk with each other and understand any last minute things about the house. And then the beautiful part happens. It's almost like the dessert at the end of an amazing meal. You have to have a super dessert, because the closing is enjoying that super dessert and getting those keys at the end. So hopefully this gave you a little bit of information and insight on what a title company does, and how crucial the choosing the correct title company is, and how crucial the role is that the title company plays in the process. You need to make the choice, just like you do about everything else in that home closing process, and we'd love to help it by answering any questions that you have. So I appreciate you all tuning in. I'm always available on social media. You can email me, Connie, at footetilegroup.com. Our website has all of our team members, both in Maryland and Virginia, who can answer any questions. We do not sell real estate and we do not do mortgages, but we have a lot of partners that we work with that have a lot of great tools that can help you out. And we've been doing it for a long time, so we understand a lot of the questions that you'd probably be asking. So hopefully this gave you a little insight today into the title company's role and why it's so important for you to choose and not let someone else choose for you the title company. I look forward to talking to you again soon. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Remember, I'm Connie Fuchsa with Foote Title Group, because your home closing should be the simple part. Have a great one. Thank you.